So hi guys, it's marianakebaso. Welcome back to my channel. In today's video, we're going to be talking about my book trope opinions. So I'm not going to call these unpopular opinions because I do think that a lot of these opinions are popular. In addition to me telling you guys my book opinions, I'm also going to be telling you guys a book that kind of fits that trope if I like the trope. If I don't like the trope, I'm not going to be recommending a book from that trope unless there's a book that does that trope well, if that makes sense. I don't know if it makes sense, but yeah. So without further ado, let's just get started and get into this video. So the first trope that I want to talk about is enemies to lovers, and enemies to lovers is like elite. It is above any other trope.
That's a 10.
Now, there's a lot of books that do this trope really well, but to start, The Hating Game does this really well. Pride and Prejudice does this really well. And it's just, it's elite. It's elite, okay? It's above every other trope, like ever. So the next opinion that I have is that I hate the second chance trope, okay? And hear me out on this. So I just don't really like the second chance trope because it's done really bad by a lot of authors. And I wish I could give you guys examples, but my problem is if I don't like a book, I literally remove it from my library because I read digitally on my iPad. So if I don't like a book, I will literally remove it, delete from my library, and I won't keep it. It's so bad, but like a lot of writers do not do the second chance trope right. Like it feels forced. It feels like forgiveness comes very easily to these characters and it doesn't feel real. It feels manufactured, which it is, but I like reading books that feel real, like they feel like a real story. But a book that does do this really well, this second chance trope, is Fumbled, which is an amazing book. I literally just finished reading it last night. So good. It does the second chance trope very well, but a lot of books don't do it well, so that's why I don't like it that much. Friends to lovers is okay, but I'm not obsessed with it. Like,
don't care, still don't care, I don't care.
I just feel like it's a little bit weird, in my opinion.
Something about this doesn't sit right in my spirit.
And I feel like it reinforces the idea that like if a guy and a girl are friends, that they have to like each other, or they are going to like each other at some point, you know? Like I do feel like that trope really reinforces the idea that men and women cannot be in a platonic relationship without it turning into something more, which I don't think is true. I like girls can have guy friends, guys can have girlfriends, like girl space friends, and it not be a huge deal. It doesn't have to turn romantic. It can just be a platonic relationship. But the friends to lovers trope really pushes the idea that like if a guy and a girl are in a friendship with each other, that it is bound to turn into a relationship, or one of them has secretly been harboring feelings for the other one. And it's just like, it's a mess, okay? I don't like it. I don't like it at all. So I love forced proximity though. The one bed trope, one room trope, forced to be at the same party, friend reunion, high school like just
Give it to me!
Okay, I'm literally obsessed with forced proximity.
No, I don't think you understand. I'm obsessed.
In The Hating Game, for example, one of the books that I just recommended, The Hating Game has almost a forced proximity because the two characters are co-workers, so they have to work with each other and they have to be in the same room. I'm obsessed, okay? I'm obsessed with forced proximity. It's literally the best ever, okay? Now, I don't know how to feel about fake relationships, but I'm not obsessed with it. I really am not, and I just find it a little, not weird, but it's not one of my personal favorites.
Something about this doesn't sit right in my spirit.
Like it's just not something that I gravitate towards. That's it. So the arranged marriage trope is good sometimes. Now, some writers do the arranged marriage trope amazingly because they don't go from strangers to like a married couple overnight, which is awesome because a lot of writers do it terribly and they make it go from strangers who literally just got married 24 hours ago to people who act like they've been in love for years, which I don't like that. But a book that does the arranged marriage trope really well is How to Catch a Queen. I just finished reading this a couple days ago. So good, okay? Alyssa Cole does this trope so well, okay? It feels realistic. Like I said, I love realistic books. I love books that feel real, like they could happen, and this book does it amazingly, okay? It does, okay? It does. And the next opinion that I have is that I love the love at first sight trope. Okay, I'm telling you, like, I know a lot of people don't like it because they see it as unrealistic, but I feel like if it's done correctly, it can be done correctly. Like, that literally doesn't make sense at all. But like, if it's like not like instant love and obsession, I feel like love at first sight can be more like attraction that leads to pursuing, that leads to love, if that makes sense. Like a book, I'm trying to think of a book that does this really well. Yeah, it's just that a lot of books, like, they don't just keep to one trope nowadays, which I don't know how I feel about it. Like, a lot of books, like, they mesh multiple tropes, and sometimes this can be done really, really well, like when you mesh enemies to lovers with like forced proximity, with like fake dating, like that kind of works, right? But then sometimes they mesh a lot of tropes that it's like you can't really talk about them without spoiling the story, really. So I'm trying not to like spoil the story for you guys, but yeah, it's just like, for me, like, I just love at first sight, and it's done well in books, which is why I know I like it. But I can't think of a book that does it without talking about the other tropes in that book, if that makes sense. But my next opinion is that love triangles could be good if they were done differently. Like, I feel like love triangles, you really see one main character girl who is being pursued or sought after by two guys, but like, that's old. Like, there's so many things that you could do with a love triangle, and they just don't do it. Why can't it be two girls going after one guy, two best friends going after one guy, two girl enemies going after the same guy, a guy and a girl going after the same girl, or a girl and a guy going after the same guy? Like, there's so many options that are just unexplored in the romance world in terms of love triangle tropes, and it's just annoying when I keep seeing the same story over and over again with the two guys like the same girl, and then one of the guys has to like suppress his feelings and let his friend or his brother or a classmate or something get the girl. Like, it's just annoying because there's so many things that the author could do, and then they just choose not to do it. But anyways, so I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and if you did, make sure you leave a like and comment down below, and I will be sure to respond. And subscribe. We're on a road to 500 subscribers. I would love for you to join my fam, my group, my clique. And yeah, that is it for this video, and I will see you guys in next week's video. Bye.